Where does ErA go? It feels like he's back into a corner. We're going to find out what he does. He has to tie this series up, I feel like. This is an important game for him, but Kaldi's looking to take a 2-0 lead and a nice stranglehold on this match.
I won't be surprised by Tempo Mage. I haven't seen it in a while from ErA or the aggressive Paladin deck, because I really think Kaldi's going to queue it up again.
Well, he's going to go with Warlock instead, and Kaldi queues up Paladin. Another very safe pick for him. Can kind of go either way, and right now his opening hand looking pretty good.
Yeah, we also saw him play this so well against Jab. I mean, I almost don't remember that match because it was over just so fast.
Yeah, well, Jab queued up Shaman 3 times in a row, and Kaldi made very quick work of him.
Yeah, Kaldi was playing this deck quite a bit in that matchup too, because honestly, I think this deck's one of the better ones to play against Jab.
It just matches up well versus what his style's trying to do. You have ways to get on the board early. You have a lot of strong mid-game tempo plays, and True Silver Champion feels like it's a nightmare for a player like Jab.
That's a big game hunter in this deck here from ErA. It's a interesting choice.
That's the thing, is that we saw him play Dark Iron Dwarf a lot in this build, and so I feel like something else that's happening is when you get to those turn 5 and those turn 6 points, sometimes the curve starts getting muddled down a little bit, and you're investing into smaller minions to try to create a better board state. He wants the potential of that one-turn swing where you can Dark Iron Dwarf a 5-power minion and then big game hunter it.
Yeah, I mean, if it ever happens, it's great. And this, you see an Argent Squire in this. This is something we've been seeing a little more in these Zoo decks lately.
Yeah, Super JJ was playing a one-of copy of it in his. He just got #1 on ladder with it.
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of people doing this a little bit more. Just having extra 1-drops in this deck is kind of important because you want to do something early.
Yeah, Zombie Chow, I can promise you, is one of the last things that ErA wanted to see.
Yeah, he's going to have to start chewing through all this with Hunter. Now, this is actually why Argent Squire is so good in this deck. I want to talk about this for a second. Power Overwhelming with Argent Squire is amazing because it stays a 5/5 if it has a shield before you put the Power Overwhelming on it, and it makes Void Terror so much better that way because a lot of ways you win the game with Zoo is you Power Overwhelming a minion, you run over like their biggest guy, and then you Void Terror to consume the dude that's going to die before the turn's over. But if you do it on something that has a shield, the shield pops, it stays a 5/5 from Argent Squire, and then you just get to eat it, and your guy becomes an 8/8.
Yeah, so Flame going to be the play here, and that tells me he's going to trade this Zombie Chow. Keep that Flame Imp alive as long as you can. It is high priority at this point.
Now, do you play around Muster for Battle here and attack the 1/1? I mean, it's pretty safe. It's 1 damage,
Yeah, that's kind of a tough call because, again, you just mentioned the importance of the Power Overwhelming Void Terror combo. That may be something he's actually hunting for this game.
Now, we can see that if he does do something like that, Kaldi has a big game hunter to punish him, but yeah, that's something that's possibly on ErA's mind here.
Is this a spot where you can big game hunter ever?
I mean, in this match, yes, you have to hold on to Big Game Hunter because they have the possibility. There's always that turn that can come up where they Malganish you out of nowhere from a Void Caller.
Yeah.
So I feel unless you just absolutely have to play it, you just keep the Big Game Hunter.
Yeah. So Kaldi kind of slow and steady is where he wants to be right now. Has the Iron Beak able to trade in this Flame Imp? Piloted Shredder, perfect timing for this. If he didn't get a Shredder or a True Silver Champion, this game might have just slipped away.
Yeah, he's just looking to control this board until turns 7 and 8. On 6, he's going to Sylvanas. On 7, he's going to Dr. Boom. On 8, he's going to lay on hands himself. And from there, it's going to be very hard for ErA to win. But ErA can create these amazing board states from here. I mean, look what's happening here. He has so much resiliency, and his cards are so good to fight these grindy matchups.
And this is the kind of pressure you create with a deck like this. And that equality is dead right now, but
yeah, he needs to pick up a Consecration.
I look at this spot and I wonder, can he forego Sylvanas here ever?
Yeah, Coin Sylvanas is probably your best play here because, if ErA has something like Doomguard in his hand, next turn is going to be backbreaking for you. I mean, there's no way in my mind, unless the card drawn was very, very good, that ErA is not going to Power Overwhelming to Doomguard next turn and just move in. I mean, this is what this deck is trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to answer that board. Is he thinking about a no-value Quartermaster here?
He is thinking about it, but I look at this board and it doesn't do anything to this board.
Yeah, but maybe he thinks he needs to hold coin for lay on hands, but even then, I mean, if you coin lay on hands on turn 7, that's not even doing that much. Yeah, you draw 3 cards and gain 8 life, but ErA might be able to have more power than on board by then.
You're right. This is like a stabilizing card, and so in order to get to this point, you have to be playing stuff that's contesting the position.
Now you're seeing the pressure of the moment, this is showing you how much this means to both these guys.
Now, this isn't like a bad play. I want to visit this again. So something that's happening here is now Kaldi's opening up his potential to turn 6 Dr. Boom if he wants. If he manages to draw Consecrate, it's looking a lot better with that equality at this point. A lot of different things are happening when he gets to this point. And so this turn 5 Quartermaster, when is he going to get value from it? He could potentially get value from the Sylvanas later on, and he certainly can get value from this coin.
He has enough to win the game in his hand. Sylvanas, Dr. Boom, and lay on hands, that's enough to win this game if he stays alive. I don't mind the Quartermaster play at all because honestly, it's not central to who's playing from here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think ErA's going to play Abusive Sergeant and Doom Guard this turn, and we're just moving in. Because here's the thing, he's still at 30. He is going to life tap like crazy for the rest of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's Doom Guard indeed. Let's go, boys. I even think I like trading with the Quartermaster here.
Yeah, I like moving, as I say, just take out the Quartermaster here, move in as much damage as possible, make this board great. Kaldi has to draw a Consecration here, or he is in big trouble.
He's facing down 12 points of damage right now.
You know, do you Dr. Boom, hope you survive, and try to lay on hands the turn after that and hope that you can control this board?
You know, I think the Sylvanas is actually totally okay here too. I mean, you're looking at Sylvanas this turn, sure, he takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, he takes 12 points damage, goes down to 3. But then he can coin the lay on hands, he'll move up to 11, trade with the Doom Guard, put himself in a position where he wipes out 2 big minions, but I can't fault him for the Dr. Boom here either.
You've already seen Abusive Sergeant and a Power Overwhelming. ErA would need another copy of those cards to win the game from here.
Yeah, like I look at this board state, when is ErA ever trading with your minions right now?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't making this play to trade with minions. He's trying to get himself the best board state to, like, live through lay on hands. But this is something we see from ErA all the time. You know, he plays control a ton, so when he gets in this situation, sometimes he doesn't think about, you know, maybe I should just push. He just always wants to control what's going on.
Yeah, we'll constantly hedge his bets against stuff. I don't mind it here. I think it's totally fine.
That actual perfect roll here.
Just, you know, it just feels difficult to make this kind of decision. And now, is he pushing Fate? Has to push 5 damage Fate. No way. So Kaldi's at 7, but bright side of things, he has an equality. Maybe he can get lucky on these Boombot rolls.
Yeah, so you can equality here if you want and add Quartermaster, but this is a rough turn from here. He has to get very lucky to survive through here.
Step 1 here is equality.
Yeah, this will allow you to take care of the 5/5, so. So much tension, so much pressure in this match. Worst possible Boombot for him.
A 1 to face, maybe a little bit worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, just any to face is just terrible for him here.
He has to add 2 threats here. He cannot afford to.
He needs the big game. Well, yeah, I was going to say, he needs to shield a mini bot and make a 1/1. It makes a Quartermaster better next turn if something crazy happens and you get to play that. But you got to believe he's laying on hands next turn.
2 damage will kill Kaldi, and that's enough. 5 extra damage on top of it. We're going to game number 3, and we have a best of 3 series. ErA's aggression, too much for Kaldi to handle in this one. Didn't have the early game tools to get this done.
Yeah, and we have a ball game, folks. This match, up to anyone now. Everyone watch. Do you think they're watching this match? I think at least a few of them are watching this match.
I think a lot of players are watching this match right now. I mean, this is such an important one. Again, this sets the tone for the whole season.